that? I don't know.
How are you doing? Alright, yeah. Jump back, yeah. Yeah. So after you sort of get that dial, after you start to see the right beat. And put it to him and I put my flag on the YouTube.
Yeah.
My own broad video 3 years ago from Siding. At the end of the 10,000 views.
Hello.
Hello.
Would it better take a look inside the cockpit if I make a donation?
You can do,
Yeah?
indeed,
Well,
yes.
that's great, thank you. Can I give you the money?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So this is the Spitfire, submarine Spitfire, is that correct?
It's Mark 9,
Mark
dates from
9.
September 1942.
Okay.
The fuselage, the airframe inside the original, dated. It was in the Mediterranean at the end of the war. By the mid-70s, it had been acquired by a museum in the Midlands, and they built fiberglass wings for it, fiberglass tail, and it was on display for at least 2 decades in this museum.
Yes.
And then it got sold several times after that. It came up for sale in 2015. It was all in bits. The front end was all crumpled in. The fiberglass wings were separate, and you just touch them, they crumble to dust in your hands.
Really?
So we bought it, and we spent 160,000 refurbishing it and putting everything in the cockpit, which it didn't have anything at all when we got it. And everything in there is all original.
That was going to be my question.
That's why we don't let people sit in it. We get people who ask,
Yeah.
and some people get very narky when they're told they can't. They think it's their right to be allowed to sit in a Spitfire cockpit, and they get really narky.
But
about
it's like viewing an old painting, for example. You're not allowed to go up and touch a painting and feel it, you know.
Yeah,
'Cause, so when you say we bought it, are you like an organisation, or are you like as individuals?
We were World War II reenactors,
Okay.
miniature collectors.
Right.
So we display stuff just like the other guys do. And I was doing Luftwaffe for many years.
Yes.
I've got a large display of Luftwaffe stuff. And the lads saw me doing it and said, that looks interesting, nobody else does what you do, we'll do it as well. And then said, other reenactors have vehicles to interact with, but you don't see pilot reenactors with an aircraft.
No.
So we decided to build an ME-109, which we have.
Right.
And while we were building that, this came up for sale, so we bought this as well. So we have 2 aircraft. Last weekend we were down near Portsmouth, both aircraft together.
So it's,
And we
I
do
imagine
several
some job to move this from one location to another location.
Yeah, it takes about 2 hours to get it off its trailer, put
Yeah.
the wings on,
Yeah.
and the tail, and to put it together. Yeah.
So this is a 1942 Spitfire.
Yes.
You say
Yeah.
it was based in the Mediterranean.
Yes.
What improvements did they make over the sort of the Battle of Britain era?
How long have you got?
Oh, right. Just sort of the main, you know,
Well, basically...
as a layman,
Right,
you know.
right.
Yeah.
The very first Spitfires had 2 propellers,
Yeah.
and obviously the Merlin engine, which they just kept improving. So as they kept improving the engine, more drag was needed, so they had another, so they went up to 3 propellers, and then they went up to 4, and then they changed from the Merlin engine to
Yeah.
the Griffin engine, which was faster. The Griffin engine was bigger, so what they did was they took Mark V's, which was the rear half with the old-fashioned rivets, and they repurposed them. They chopped the front end off them and rebuilt it around the new, bigger engine with the more modern style of riveting that you can see, which is flush.
Yes.
And that's why this has got a mixture of rivets on, so it's an early Mark 9. Once they'd run out of Mark 5s to repurpose, then all the Mark 9s were made with the modern style of riveting. Yeah. In terms of the weaponry, they originally had the machine guns inside the wings,
Yes.
and then when they wanted more firepower, they then started to add the 20mm cannons. This one's got 2. Later ones, by 1943-44, had 2 on each wing. Yeah, so they kept improving the armaments.
Yeah.
They kept improving the engines and the engine speed, so that by the end of the war, I think they had the propellers. I think it was 6 into the late 40s.
Right, really?
They had 6 propellers.
And how many from World War II years are still flying?
The Spitfires in the world, there are only 30 Spitfires still flying.
That are still flying.
And 16 of those are in Britain.
Right. Oh, I didn't realise there was that many actually.
Yes.
I was thinking you may say one or two. You know.
No.
That's great. So, as a schoolboy, I always thought of like the Spitfire and the Hurricane, very similar looking planes.
They're actually not.
But probably if you
Side
know
by
your
side.
stuff.
Yeah, no, they're not. No, Spitfire is smaller than the Hurricane.
Okay.
The Hurricane is much, much taller. The Spitfire is made of aluminium. The Hurricane is made of wood and canvas. Yeah. The cockpit, the glass is much, much bigger, it's longer, and it's like little frames, whereas you've got the bubble cockpit that slides. And that's not on the Hurricane.
So would you say the Hurricane gave a better view for the pilot?
Potentially, yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
not built to last in the same way.
They were more durable.
Were they? Oh, really? Yeah.
You could shoot it to bits and it would still fly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, am I all right then just to put the
Yes,
camera
you
into
can
the
do,
cockpit?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you. Excuse me, sorry, just to trouble you, would you just be able to point out, some of the major features here that we're looking
that's where
at?
I'm not an expert.
Oh, right, okay.
Steve is.
Steve.
Steve. But you can see the joystick there and the trigger on for firing, the weaponry.
Where I'm looking there for the trigger?
It's there somewhere. Sorry, I'm not sure. You have to get Steve to explain it all to you.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, he understands it all better than I do. He's
That's
more
smashing,
technical.
thank you.
I'm not very technical.
Which is Steve?
Steve is there.
The gentleman here.
Yeah.
Okay, when he's finished talking, then I'll grab a word with him.
These were ballast tanks. They put ballast in, and we keep the first aid kit in it and other bits and pieces. But, I wish they did as well. They'd shove a first aid kit in it.
So ballast, how would the
Steve would have to explain that to you.
Right.
as
Okay.
well.
Yeah. Thanks ever so much for your time. Anyway, am I right just to do the circuit? Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Where is Jeff?
Where's Jeff?
So I've seen this Spitfire for many years, and it's always in this location. Obviously, there's room in the car park for it, but not knowing that it was actually an original, that was not what I was imagining. Hello, Steve. Hiya.
Hiya.
I wonder if you could just explain just the main features inside the cockpit for us, please.
Yeah, it's
Thank you. Oh, great stuff.
Obviously, on the right-hand side, you've got your rad temperatures. The
Yes.
blue one.
Yes.
Yellow one, your oil. One below it is fuel. That doesn't kick in until you've used the first 45 gallon.
Okay.
Carries 80. One at the top above the blue and the yellow.
Yes.
That's the boost gauge. Revs per minute, same as you'd have on a car.
Yes.
Up, down for the flaps. Your horizon.
Yeah.
Airspeed. Altitude. Direction. Left and right. This side.
Just get behind you
Yeah.
from there.
Nose up, no down, which is your trim. You can set on any aircraft.
Oh, yeah.
Above that's your oxygen gauges. Your oxygen.
Yes.
And in the far corner there's an 8-day Smith's clock that they all carry.
Right.
Radio. Camera. And on the other side wall,
Was the camera standard then?
not all of them, no, they didn't all carry them. You got a Morse code, because they also communicated with Morse. That's a fuel pump.
Would the Morse would they be in contact with the ground rather than other aircraft?
Other aircraft mainly.
Oh, mainly. Oh, really?
And even during night sorties, they used to use the Morse code and communicate through the light on the top at the back of the aerial.
Ah, right. And that was the main purpose of that light then?
No, it's a navigation light.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
just as you'd have on any aircraft, but they used to use it
Yeah.
wide up to the Morse code.
Right. Okay, that gentleman explained that this would normally be used for ballast.
Yes,
What sort of ballast did they use?
just weight.
Oh,
just pure weights.
Oh, all right, okay.
If it was flying with no armament,
Yeah.
so it's not carrying any shells or anything, obviously it's much lighter. So then they move the ballast forward to counteract it,
Right.
so that you've got a constant
Where the weight would
trim.
normally be,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
So
Yeah,
you trim the aircraft really.
yeah, yeah. Have you?
basically fly
Are you a
themselves.
pilot yourself? No.
I have flown.
Have you?
I've never flown Spitfire.
Yeah, yeah,
That'd be a dream. That would.
yeah. I was surprised when I was speaking to the other gentleman just how many are still
Yeah.
capable of flying.
Yeah, there's about 30 plus in the world.
Yeah, when I asked the question, I was
Six.
thinking, oh, you'd probably say one or two,
Yeah,
you know,
but
but
they're grounding them at the moment as they're coming down. They've got problems with the airframes.
everything's got to be checked.
It's the aluminium that was used during the war. Got phosphate in it, so it deteriorates from the inside out.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So very often the airframes are starting to break down if they find any flaw whatsoever.
It's been some time now.
Totally rebuild the whole
Yeah.
airframe.
Yeah, smashing. Thanks very much, Steve.
Pleasure.
Thanks for your time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So that's the carriage then for transporting the Spitfire.